Okay, my name is Jack English. I'm a first year computer science major. I'm very, very interested in virtual reality and mixed reality. That is like my career path for me is basically set in stone. I want to be a VR game developer or just a VR developer in general.
So far, while you've been Empathy Bytes, what have you really enjoyed and makes you continue working in Empathy Bytes?
I really like the flexibility with what you're able to work on. Like I can choose to work on any aspect of the VR museum I'd like, and so I was able to specialize in just doing photogrammetry this semester and like working on models to add to it. And next semester I'll probably choose to work a lot more on like the game development side of it with like adding features and stuff.
Yeah. So could you just elaborate a little bit more on what you specifically do this semester?
At the beginning of the semester, I worked pretty heavily on fixing the Unity project because there were some problems with the GitHub and the project was pretty non-functional. But after those first couple weeks, I've been entirely working on photogrammetry and honing my workflow for that, which includes the picture taking strategy in the software that I use and the best workflow for editing the model in Blender, like different techniques you can use to reduce the polygon count and painting and textures and stuff like that.
So I know you mentioned that you have a strong interest in Unity and all these VR spaces and stuff like that. Is there prior work that you've done that has really prepared you for all the work you're doing right now?
Yes. I got to give a shout out to my club, GTXR. I did my first VR project last semester with them. I worked on making a virtual reality graphing calculator. You should join GTXR if you're in the space because shameless shout out, but there are genuinely multiple projects that anybody can join without experience, and you can learn a lot there. And we host hackathons, and we have mentors and speaker events and stuff like that.
So far while you've been working, do you have a favorite thing you've worked on, a specific piece in the museum, any of those models?
I was kind of biased when I chose this model because I thought it would be cool from the start, but I did a scan of black Converse that Buzz wore in the 1970s, and so just generally a really old pair of Converse that are worn looks really cool, and they look pretty identical to a new pair of black Converse. I just think that's a cool piece of history.
In regards to the shoes, why do you think it's important to preserve these kinds of pieces, and how do you think it impacts the Georgia Tech community?
That's a great question. I think that it'll always be, obviously we shouldn't get rid of real archives with real artifacts, but I think there are plenty of added benefits to also having digital archives, because digital models don't degrade over time. I think another massive benefit to digital artifacts is accessibility, because every artifact that I've scanned so far has been locked behind locked in the archive where normal people won't be able to experience them. With a VR museum, it's way more accessible because it has unlimited hours. Anybody can, as long as you have a headset or even a computer, anybody can go to the museum and see these artifacts, interact with them. It can be much larger than a normal exhibit based on budget. And the last benefit is you can just get more intimate with the objects and actually pick them up and look at every angle of them, and it really feels like holding them as opposed to just looking at them through